Alright, guys, I'm here to talk about the remake of Poltergeist. Poltergeist. Now, I like the original movie. Even though it's not my most favorite horror movie of all time, I dedicate that to John Carpenter's The Thing. I still consider Poltergeist to be in the top 10. As a kid, the movie terrified the shit out of me. I was afraid of clowns. I was afraid of ancient evil trees in the backyard. I was afraid of melting my face off. Seriously, tearing it over and stuff like that. And yes, it did not age that well, especially for some of the practical effects, but it is still appreciative. I mean, even that scene where the guy's tearing his face off. Sure, right now I was like, oh, that's a dummy. It's a dummy's head, prosthetic head, and they're just tearing into it, and it's on top of a guy's body. That's why the chest looks like it's buffed up and stuff, and he's like, oh no, ah! But I still love that scene. So, and there were some good scares, and yeah, as a family flick, you can tell that that's why a lot of people thought that this was directed by Steven Spielberg, not Toby Hooper. Yes, it is a Toby Hooper film, but a lot of people still think it's Steven Spielberg. The way they wrote the family's dialogue, the interactions, the family is great. And everyone dug the family. And sure, there's a couple of problems with the film, but otherwise, especially with how the family reacts in the final third act, but still, it's a great film. It's a fun ride. It's a fun, scary ride. So, before I watched this film, I already checked up the Rotten Tomato scores at 33%, but here's the thing. I knew it was going to be bad, but I don't know, for me, I had a slight bit of hope that, okay, this is produced by Sam Raimi. He produced the Evil Dead remake, and I really like the Evil Dead remake. And the Evil Dead remake had great effects, mostly practical effects mixed with CGI, and it's a great conversion. It's a great mixture of the two. So, you know what? Probably there's some good things about this movie. That's what I'm hoping for. Probably there's some good scares. Probably it does something better than the original. That's what I at least hope for. Every time we go into a movie, I keep expecting the best things, even though I expected the worst out of this movie. So that's my mindset. I was just hoping for some good acting, some good scares, and even if it's at 33%, I'll be like, I kind of recommend this movie. So did this movie make me angry? Like the Thing prequel made me angry? Nope. This movie is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But that doesn't mean it's good. It's not even decent. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, the 33% makes sense. If you want good scares, this movie has none of it. And also, if you've seen the original movie, then you know which scares are going to come up. They're very predictable, and you know what's going to happen. So yeah, I don't know. This movie's PG-13. The original movie was rated PG, and I understand that's before they created the PG-13 rating. But seriously, though, if that movie was going to be PG-13 anyway, then why this one can't be? The original one had blood, it had gore. Like I said, the face melting scene and the flesh tearing off and stuff like that in the freaking bathroom. Maggots coming out of the meat. Clowns were scary. A toy clown was scary. This. Ugh. Alright, before I get into the bad stuff, I'll talk about the good stuff at least. The acting for the most part is good. Well, sure, some of the characters are a bit annoying, but I don't think it's the actor's fault. I think it's the direction. I think it's the dialogue that's the problem. But Sam Rockwell is a good character. He was great in this movie. He's a good actor, and yeah, he plays a very fun dad. I really like him in this role. And unfortunately, he doesn't dance at all, which is a shame. Seriously, I thought he dances in every single movie. How come this one he didn't? Probably it's a deleted scene, I don't know. But yeah, he's a fun dad, and I love his dialogue, especially the part in the beginning, like the first 20 minutes, when he's like having a conversation with the realtor, and she's asking him, oh, what do you do for work? And he's like, oh, I work for John Deere. And she's like, oh, that's nice. And he's like, well, I used to work for them. About a couple months ago, I got laid off. And she's like, oh. And the wife is like, hey, come here, look at the backyard. And he's like, not now, honey. I'm having an awkward exchange with the realtor. That does feel like Steven Spielberg dialogue, and I thought it did a good job for that. And I love the chemistry between him and the wife. Yeah, the wife was pretty good. Now, the children actors, they're not that bad. The little one, that's the thing. The family is not the same as the original film. I don't think they even share the same names or anything. So I don't think the little girl is Carol Ann. I could be wrong though. But yeah, she basically fills the Carol Ann character, and she's adorable. I just want to eat her up. She's so damn adorable. I love it every time she swears. Sure, sometimes she can't act at all, but mostly she's just adorable with every single line she says. When the teenage daughter was saying that her brother was a dumbass, and then the Carol Ann girl was like, dumbass! And Sam Rockwell was like, hey, don't you dare say that! And she's like, dumbass! So yeah, she's adorable. I really like her. And yes, sometimes she has like the deadpan stare. But I'm not sure if that's because that the director doesn't know how to direct her to act, or she's just terrified, or she has no idea what to do, or something like that. But yeah, she just stares like this sometimes, but nothing wrong with that. She's just adorable. She's a little kid, so I was okay with that. The son can be a bit annoying here and there, but that's only because they made the son a wimp. A wimpy character. And I guess he has like a redeeming arc to him, because like he starts off as a scaredy cat, then he does something that redeems his character. But at the same time, it's a very, very dumb move that the character does, and that's near the end of the movie. So, but the son, he was okay. I mean, I think the actor's just fine. The teenage daughter is great at playing a bitchy teenage daughter. That's all I can say. She plays a bitch. That's basically it. And I think the original film, The Teenage Daughter, was also a bitch as well, a bit sluttier than this one. So, you know what? I'm okay with that. And Jared Harris, he was a lot of fun. He's hammy, over the top, and I just love him in this film. He was so entertaining, which is why I'm wondering why the movie wasn't from his perspective. I mean, you could take the original storyline of Poltergeist, but show it from a different way. I mean, if you show it from the point of view of him, the movie would have been so much more entertaining. Make it like a bit like The Conjuring. Like, show it from the perspective of the investigators, and then show the perspective from the family. That would have been so much better. At least it would have been unique. It would have been a different twist on the whole Poltergeist thing, but no, unfortunately they didn't. He shows up past the halfway point. I believe he's just in there for the third act. And you do see him in the beginning of the film, but that's like his on-screen presence. Like he's like a TV host. He's a ghost investigator, and the teenage daughter watches him, and he's like, "The house is clean." So it gives a bit of a Fright Night vibe, and I'm okay with that. At least it's kind of interesting, kind of unique. So I was okay with that. Some of the effects are okay. At least the practical ones. That's the best I can say about the effects. Ooh. And there are some ideas that are pretty cool. They when they're trying to get the daughter back from the ghost world, you actually see what the world looks like. Yes, the CGI is crap, but it is a very nice idea. The idea of it is great. The execution sucked, but the idea is great. The design, I want to see the concept art design, because I'm pretty sure it looks cool. The design looks awesome. It's just the CGI sucks. It sucks. Yeah, and that's basically the positives. I'll probably talk about more positives if I finally think of it. But yeah, that's basically all the positives. But the negatives outweigh the positives, and that's why I don't want to recommend this movie to anybody. I mean, Sam Rockwell was great, Jared Harris was great, and I want to recommend a movie because of them, but this is a horror film first, and it fails in horror. It fails in... This is produced by Sam Raimi! I felt like I'm not sure. Probably he didn't even know what the original Poltergeist is. Probably he never seen the movie before. So when he heard, oh, someone wants to remake Poltergeist, okay, why not? Do whatever you want. I don't care. That's what I'm thinking. Because, Jesus, man, what the hell? You should know better. The Grudge is a better movie than this. And I hate The Grudge. Drag me to hell. That movie is funny and it's scary and has good practical effects and has some good CGI effects. That is so much better than this film, and that's a PG-13 film. I recommend the unrated version more, but still, it's PG-13 and it's still much better than this piece of shit. Okay, so I'll talk about the negatives. Alright, so all the scares that you know of in the original movie are downplayed a lot in here, and I don't know why. You think with a PG-13 rating and with how dark movies can get, they could try to get away with a lot of things. You can show a bit of blood, just don't show a lot of blood. You could show decapitations as long as there's not that much blood. You could show very dark imagery. I mean, the Joker from The Dark Knight, there's a couple of scary clips of him, and that's a PG-13 film, so you could try to do something with the toy clown in this. And, you know, basically this movie does remind me of the Thing prequel a bit, because they emphasize so much on the CGI effects, and I don't get it. I just don't. I mean, you're giving CGI a bad name. CGI is a tool, okay? You're supposed to use it to enhance the film. But no, you gloss over everything, and you don't get it. I feel bad for the animators and the artists who worked on the CGI effects because they look like shit. Man, it's not scary. You did your job wrong. You fail. This is a horror movie first. You have some good ideas and you fucked it all up. So yeah, the toy clown scene that happened a lot earlier on this time around, and the idea of this. Okay, so the toy clown is not the toy. The toy clown doesn't belong to the son at all. The toy clown just happens to belong to the previous owner of the house, I guess, and they're stuffed in the attic, and then the son hears a noise, and he realizes, oh wait, there's another like cellar thing in the attic. So he opens it, sees like this tiny string with a red nose ball thing, and then he pulls it down, and every single frickin' toy clown comes falling down. I don't know who the previous owner of the house is and what their children are thinking when they want a freaking toy clowns, but these toy clowns are hideous. But then again, they're not like Annabelle hideous. They're not that terrifying, so I could probably understand why would a kid find entertainment in these kind of clowns. But still, the toy clown in the original film had a very kind of charming appeal to it. You know, like, okay, that toy clown kind of looks creepy, but I understand why a kid will want it, because it looks friendly. You could give it that. But no, these toy clowns, they all have like a sinister look to them, and I don't get it. What's the point of these? When were these made? Who would buy this pieces of shit? So yeah, it's a bunch of toy clowns, and they all look different. Except the only one of the toy clowns are used, and that's the one that looks close to the one from the original movie. So, this toy clown decides to fuck around with the son, and it was, I gotta say, it was a kind of good scare. Even though I didn't jump because I seen it in the trailer, so I knew it was coming up. So I was like, oh, okay, that was kind of cool. It's the part where the red nose with the string is around the son's feet, and then it goes through the feet, and then he turns back, looks over, and sees the clown jump attack him, and then the clown tries to strangle him with his long arms. So the practical effect looked good until you realize that the arms were CGI'd. Because they had to show the arm stretching, and I was like, oh my god, this effect looks terrible because it looks like Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four movies. So yeah, the toy clown breaks easily, and this happened in like the 30-minute mark, I guess. And then the son is terrified, so he tries to find his older sister, and the older sister is preoccupied because her phone was making noise, it was causing static, and she's like, wait, I gotta find the source to this thing. So she's following the noise, goes into the basement, and she sees this terrifying looking figure with the, I forgot what's it holding. It's probably a rake or something like that, but it looked like a scythe at first. I don't know. So she's terrified. She sees a crack in the ground, and then and then it creates a hole, it explodes, there's sludge coming out, and she tries to escape, and then this ooze hand comes out and grabs her and tries to pull her underneath. Now, I gotta say this. That, I'm not sure if that's CGI'd, the ooze hand and with the sludge coming out. That looks like a practical effect, and I gotta say, if it was CGI, it actually looked good. It did. That part with the ooze hand grabbing her, it looked good. But I don't think it's CGI. I think it was a practical effect. That's why it looks good. But if it's CGI, good job. You actually succeeded. But it wasn't terrifying, though. So the parents come home and they realize that the son was taken by the tree. Oh my god, this scene was horrible. The tree arm scene. So yeah, the son runs away from his room trying to find his older sister but couldn't find her. So the tree arm goes through the attic window, goes through his room, goes down the steps, goes through the hall, and then finds the son, picks him up, drags him across the hall, up the steps, and through the attic window. And oh my god, that was a terrible sequence. You know, in the storyboards, it was an awesome idea, I gotta say, and it was a cool camera perspective, I gotta say that. But the CGI looked terrible. I mean, when the son gets picked up, then all of a sudden the CGI stunt double, and he's being dragged and stuff, and he looked like a ragdoll. He's like, ah! Ah! And the tree arm looks terrible. But like I said, the idea of it is awesome. The camera angle is cool. I understand why they want to shoot it that way. But the CGI sucked! Ah! And the tree was actually real. They used a real tree, and I'm like, what the fuck? So you can't do a practical effect? Why these people don't watch older movies? Evil Dead 2, there was a giant-ass tree monster. What the hell? Trees raping women. And you decide to use a tree arm? What the? CGI tree arm? What the hell? Ugh. Okay. Whew. And not Carol Ann, whatever the little girl's name is, she gets taken. And then they hired the paranormal investigators, and I was hoping it's the Ghostbusters because it showed the door and it said Department of Paranormal Activity, and for some reason I'm like, this movie would be so much better if it shows Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson right behind the door. But no, it shows the paranormal investigator team for this movie. And they switched the gender for the black person. It's a black woman now, and I've seen her before. I don't remember which movie though, but I'm pretty sure I've seen her before. I liked her in this film, and I was okay with the gender swap. I was okay with that. And the white guy is now a very tall teenager, I guess, a very young adult, but he's super damn tall. He could be a basketball player, unless that's how the camera angle shows him. He's just super tall. And we have the woman, and the woman was fine. I prefer the original investigator team from the original movie, of course, but still, I thought they were fine. They were serviceable. But it's funny because I don't remember any of the characters' names, but I remember Boyd, and that's the tall kid. I don't know why. I don't know how come I remember his name after watching the movie, but I forgot everyone else. I don't even know Jared Harris' character's name. Jeez, that's terrible. So, they investigate the house, and there's two scares. There's one that, with the flesh tearing thing, and it's instead of being the other guy who was trying to eat the chicken and stuff and ate the piece of meat but had maggots in it and then the flesh tearing. Now, instead of that guy in the team, now it's Sam Rockwell because he was drinking, then he threw up sludge and worms, and he was terrified by that. Then he sees his reflection on the faucet, and he sees that his face is tearing up, but it's all black ooze and stuff. His eyes are turning black and stuff. So basically his face looks like Tom Cruise's face when his face got melted off in Edge of Tomorrow when he died the first time. Except it was much more graphic in Edge of Tomorrow compared to this. And here's the thing. I like the shot. I like the idea. But the problem is this is a PG-13 film, not a PG-rated movie. Sheesh. The Lone Ranger showed a cannibal eating the heart of the Lone Ranger's brother. Sure, it's from the reflection of the guy's eyes, but still the idea in your head. Ah! That could show that, but this one, no blood. There's no blood in this film. And then after that, it cuts to the other scare. And I think this is unique because I haven't seen this in the original film. Boyd has to set up a heat sensor in the girl's room, but he's all alone. So he uses an electric screwdriver, and when he tried to use it, it created a hole in the wall, and the poltergeist sucked in the screwdriver along with the cord. So, here's the thing. If you were in the guy's position, you know the house is haunted. You just witnessed a chair thrown across the kid's wall when you were talking about the time-lapse thing about a piano being moved for 7 hours. And Sam Rockwell's like, did you get that with your time-lapse? Because that's not 7 hours. That was a funny joke, I gotta admit. So, he just witnessed that, and yeah, so you know this place is haunted. So, you see there's this giant hole in the wall. What do you do? Would you actually look through the hole in the wall, put your arm through it, and try to grab the screwdriver? Fuck no! You wouldn't! This kid did! Seriously, out in the theater, I was like, wait, what are you doing, kid? No! Don't look at the hole! It's not worth it! Do not look at the hole! You know what? You're dead to me. You're fucking dead to me. Yeah, the kid looked through the hole. Why? You know the place is haunted! You just saw the screwdriver and it created a giant hole in the wall! And you decided to go look through it? Urgh! So, of course, like a dumbass, he puts his arm through the wall, and then he felt the poltergeist grabbing him, and then his face pressed against the wall, and then the screwdriver is drilling through from the other side, and it does it like 3 times, and the final one is like a 3D effect, so it's like, yee! And he's like, ah, 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 ah! But of course, it was a hallucination. It never happened. And here's the thing. It was a cool idea. It was a cool concept. But why do you have to make the character so fucking dumb? Ugh. Was that a nice addition to the Poltergeist franchise? I don't know. At least it's new. At least it's unique. But it's so stupid. The character shouldn't have done that. But I still kind of felt bad for his character because he witnessed this traumatic event. And he goes downstairs and the woman professor, the paranormal investigator, she's like, oh, did you set up the heat sensors in the girl's room? And he's like, sorta. And she's like, listen, I wish you could take this more seriously. And he's like, yeah, sure. I was like, woman, do you not see his eyes? Do you not see his face? He's sweating a fucking lot. He who should have known he witnessed something terrible. Ugh. So yeah, there's some more scares, and then they got Jared Harris, and then they decide to use the drone. So I guess this is the found footage portion of the movie. And like I said, cool idea. I just don't like the way it was handled. For instance, it's not like the son had a drone when they moved into the house. No, Sam Rockwell bought it in the middle of the movie. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll buy a drone for my son because I always know he wanted a drone. And you know what? It has a video camera. You know why I bought you this, son? Because I know you're going to use it at one point in the movie. That's basically it. So yeah, the son uses a drone. And that's when the drone enters the ghost world. And I gotta say, it is a very cool idea. It's very unique, very clever. I kind of wish they did that in the original film. But you know, if only the CGI was so much better. Oh my god. All the poltergeists look exactly the same. You know what they look like? They look exactly like the I Am Legend vampires. Yes, the one from the Will Smith movie. But imagine them with no eyes and extremely pale. That's exactly what they look like. So if you like the CGI from I Am Legend, and I liked I Am Legend, but even the CGI, I admit, was kind of crappy. Yeah, imagine that. Oh, 100,000 of them. And the house is made up of all of them. And yeah, that's what you get for the Ghost World. Like I said, it was a very cool idea, and I'm pretty sure the concept art was amazing. but the execution, the final render of it looks horrible. Ugh. So yeah, in the original film, the mother goes to get the daughter out. But in this time, it's the son that gets the daughter out. And I gotta say, that was kind of a unique idea, and I kind of like it. The son's a bit of a dumbass for doing that because he could have gotten lost, and an adult should have done it. Either Jared Harris or Sam Rockwell should have done it. And actually, it was Jared Harris that should have done it because he could have done the job in the first place. Because it turns out that the little girl's supposed to show the poltergeist the light, so they could travel to the light and they could rest in peace. But she couldn't do that because she's just a little girl. So Jared Harris should have been the one to go into the world to save the girl. But no, the son had to do it, and that screwed everything over. So yeah, just when they got the girl out, and that's when the family's, okay, everything's over. So this is the only best thing about the movie that I like more than the original movie. The family fucking decides to leave that instant. Seriously, the family decides to leave. I know in the original film that the woman who plays the medium, who's the one that's telling the mother to how to get Carol Ann and everything. I forgot her name. I believe it's Zelda or something like that. She was good. I really liked her in the original film. So she says that the house is clean. And that's why the family's like, okay, the house is clean, so we'll stay one more day, but we're still going to move out. I kind of got that. But if it was me, I would fucking move immediately. So that's what Sam Rockwell and his family did. They moved right after they got the daughter out. Bravo! That's the smartest thing so far. I was wondering why the original family didn't do that. Why would you stay one extra day? Especially at night. No! Don't do that! Idiots! So Sam Rockwell's like, okay, we're going. We're packing up the van. Let's go. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye. I'm not going to see you again, paranormal investigators, because I don't want to see you ever again. So that's when the daughter's like, oh no, the poltergeist didn't leave the house. And everyone's like, what the hell do you mean by that? I was supposed to show them the light, but they didn't go into the light. They want me back. And the van was like, holy shit, we gotta get out now! But the van is stopped, flipped over, crashes into the house, and then the family has to try to escape from the house. And then we see some more CGI clusterfucks. Like I said, cool idea, cool design. Terrible CGI. So you see the portal opening in the girl's bedroom. It opens and it shows the 1,000 different souls clawing at her, trying to bring her in. And I don't know what happened, but I guess Jared Harris did like the hex thing or something like that. So the corpses go back inside the hole, but the house still wants to consume everybody in. And that's when the family can finally go out and go through the bedroom window. And then Jared Harris is like, oh, I'm going to the dimension because that's what I should have done in the fucking first place, but your son fucked that up for me. Okay, bye guys. So Jared Harris goes into the dimension. He shows the poltergeist the light. The house explodes, kinda, only the roof explodes. So you see a giant light, and now you're wondering, how come I'm not watching the original Ghostbusters? So yeah, the house doesn't explode and turn into a ball and disappear into the void. No, it's just the roof explodes. That's basically it. So then you have this funny scene, I guess, with the family working with the same realtor again, even though the realtor did not tell them that the house was built on a burial ground. What? So, the realtor's like, oh, we found this very nice house with lots of closet space, and there's an ancient tree in the backyard. And the family ditched them. They're like, fuck this shit, we're moving away. And then there's a scene in the middle of the credits when it's revealed that Jared Harris did survive. He came back from the dimension, and he's back along with the paranormal investigator woman. And here's the thing, Jared Harris and the woman, they make a good couple. Like I said, he's overacting, but at the same time, I really like them as a couple, which is why I want the movie to be from his perspective. He was a lot of fun. Why can't you show more of him? Ugh. Okay, so that's Poltergeist for you. I rambled a bit, and you're probably thinking, wait, you don't hate this movie as much as you hated the Thing prequel? What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know. Probably it's because, like I said, the John Carpenter's The Thing is my most favorite horror movie of all time, so that's why I'm more offended about the Thing prequel than I am at the Poltergeist remake. But still, this movie, like I said, there's some good things about it. Good ideas, good designs, terrible execution, terrible CGI. The acting, for the most part, is fine. Sam Rockwell and Jared Harris were the two best ones. Should have been from Jared Harris' perspective, but it wasn't. And yeah, this movie sucks. It does. So, I highly doubt that anybody watched this movie because I think it bombed. And hopefully you made the smartest decision in watching Mad Max. Or Pitch Perfect 2. I recommend Pitch Perfect 2. And I'm going to do a review on Tomorrowland soon. But still, this movie sucks. If you haven't seen It Follows yet, go watch It Follows. It's probably going to be on Blu-ray and DVD soon. So yeah, this movie sucked. I'm not sure if it's the worst movie I've seen so far this year. Probably there's something worse. I don't know. Well, that's... Oh, wait. 50 Shades of Grey. That's... Well... I'd rather watch this movie more than 50 Shades of Grey. Wow. Wow, I didn't realize how low that is. Alright, so if you've seen the movie, which I'm pretty sure you haven't, write down in the comments below how do you feel about the movie. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What are the good things about the movie? And did you like the original flick? Let me know. Guys, if you like this video, please click the like button. If you'd like to subscribe, there's an annotation here for subscribing. So until next time, guys, see you later and thank you for watching.